Thank you, Speaker, and I am honoured to have the opportunity to rise in the Legislature this afternoon in honour of Police Week in Ontario and in recognition of the work that police officers do to keep our communities safe. Though we are grateful year-round for the service police officers provide each and every day, during Police Week we have the opportunity to celebrate their role and pay tribute to their sacrifice and service. I grew up in a family with both of my uncles serving their communities as police officers. One of my uncles committed years to the torch run in support of the Special Olympics, which is a great example of the variety of ways that police serve our communities. And my other uncle started his career with the RCMP up north in Atikokan. And I'm so glad you're here. He worked for the OPP and was a sergeant and later chief of police. Both of my uncles, like many officers across the province, served to strengthen their communities, and today we thank them. Speaker, as first responders, police risk their lives to protect ours, and in return we thank them sincerely. But as representatives of this province, we have a duty to give more than just thanks. We have a duty to do everything in our power to ensure that the people that keep us safe are kept safe as well. Police officers have a dangerous job, but there are things that we can do to ensure that those dangers are kept to an absolute minimum. As the world changes, we need to ensure that we change with it, and that our policies continue to evolve and adapt. Because our police officers are first responders and frontline workers, they also become the first point of contact for a variety of concerns, such as mental health. Traditionally, police serve our communities as law enforcement, but today that scope has expanded vastly. Because of lack of funding and gaps in the system, police have in many ways become social workers as well. And as the role of our officers continues to evolve, we need our policies to evolve too. We know our officers are up to the job, but let's make sure that they have our support so that they can do that job. And as the role of our officers continues to expand, so does the burden that is placed on their shoulders. Traditionally, we recognize the physical sacrifices made by police in the line of duty. We recognize officers put themselves in harm's way on a daily basis. But we must also recognize the cumulative effect of that ongoing sacrifice and stress. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and our first responders are constantly exposed to traumatic situations. The fact that our police officers are exposed to such regular mental stress is just as great a sacrifice, so we need to do more to lessen that burden. My colleague, the member from Parkdale High Park, has worked tirelessly to this end, and her private member's bill, Bill 2, would ensure that first responders suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder do not have to jump through hoops to prove that their injury is a result of their work environment. It is an excellent bill, and I hope that all members of this legislature will support its timely passage. As I stated earlier, our first responders risk their lives to protect and defend us, and this is our opportunity to protect and defend their well-being. Speaker, I would be remiss not to mention the incredible work the Durham Regional Police Service does in my riding of Oshawa as well. We live in a safe community, and it is because of the unwavering dedication of officers across Durham Region, from the Central East Target Team to Victims Services and beyond, and we thank them. As a teacher in our public school system in Durham, I have seen the role that the police play in our school communities as well. I've seen that officers are often assigned to elementary schools to build relationships with students in an accessible and approachable way. They are available to speak with, to connect with, and to work with to build positive relationships with students. They present to students on important issues including bullying and harassment, healthy choices and safety, especially when it comes to drugs, online activity, and bullying. When we think of the work that police do, we often think of what we see on TV or in the movies, but the work that our officers do in the classroom is proof of their true dedication to making our communities a better place to live. Speaker, I will finish by saying thank you once again to our police officers for their dedication, their sacrifice, and their commitment to our communities. And as the new NDP Critic for Community Safety and Correctional Services, I look forward to working closely with our police officers, and I hope to foster an open and ongoing dialogue. This week we recognize their work, but year-round we are grateful for their service. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.